Bonjour. It is Wednesday, about a week and a half into January, but don't worry, you haven't missed anything. We've just been on holidays. As you would remember from the last video, we spent the last day before Christmas knockoff putting up these trusses. Over the holidays, we have put some bracing on the top and some timber through the middle just to secure all of those from moving too much. So that's ready for battens and some tin. Today and probably tomorrow as well, we're going to get the last roof section of panels on, which is great. It's going to get rid of this pack over here and that pack over there. Finally out of the way. It's good to be back onto it. It's nice to have had a good rest, and we did have a good break, but it's really good to get back into it. I hope you guys had a good break too. Thanks for sticking with us and coming along for the journey. I hope you had a good rest and a good break if you were able to, and if you weren't able to, I hope you eventually do. I know emergency service people and essential services, I suppose they're called now. I mean, gee, retail. You don't get a break over Christmas in retail usually. So I've been there, I know what that's like. So I hope you managed to get a Christmas lunch in, at least with friends and family. But I really appreciate you coming back in and checking in with us and seeing what we're up to. So hopefully we'll see a little bit more completion going on over here in the next couple of days. It's a funny day today. We've got where we are, we often get a lot of mist in the mornings. It sort of rolls up the valley, follows the river and clears out usually mid-morning. But summer's finally arrived in Tassie. Usually takes a little while, but after Christmas she sort of settles in for a bit, which is nice. So we've been having some 25 to 29. I think we had a 30-degree day here. So it's certainly warmed up. As you can see from the paddocks, we've had some contractors in cutting hay. Should be a reasonable haul this year. And I got the tractor out and did some slashing on the banks here yesterday. So they look a bit scruffy, but that'll pack in. But this morning, yes, this morning is a funny day. It's even just for the couple of minutes that I've been here now, the fog is actually blowing back up the hill and disappearing. But it's got that smell, the morning has got that smell to it, like cool, I don't know, cool dampness that you have before a wicked hot day. It's only supposed to be, I think, 23 or 25 today and for the next couple of days, which is nice. Not too hot. But that anticipation of a warm day, I don't know if you know that smell, but if you're expecting a hot day and the morning is cool and everything's sort of just a little bit dewy, oh, it's such a nice smell. Just everything lapping up the last little bit of cool moisture while it can before it gets too hot. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Charlie's just had her breakfast. She's still very festive, aren't you? You are a festive dog. She's got a bow on. Yes, a festive dog. We've got these couple of big LVLs on the corner of the pop-up walls. We've got another infill timber that we've got to put in here for the panels to close against, and then there'll be an end closer for these guys coming on. So we're about to put this fella on, but that's sat nicely on the outside, which actually shows us the size of the windows up here, which is really nice. Got this beam up there. We've got the infill set up ready to take the panels. Got some straps on there. So that shouldn't go too far. It is hot. It's hotter than Shakira's music videos today. We're probably sitting at about 25 or 26. Just heard on the radio that we're supposed to get 31 in Hobart, so probably about 33, 34 here. That'll dry the hay out nicely, won't it? So we spent the morning setting up for these panels. We'll go and grab some lunch and we'll start throwing these up. Glorious day here. We've got a couple of roof panels on. It was pretty much the same as what we've been doing with the previous roofs. These ones just slipped into place. It was really nice and easy. We sort of just give them a bit of a shove and on they went. So that's what we're looking at the moment. Quite happy. We took most of the morning to set up. We had some timber to rip down. We had those beams to get on over the front windows. They're all strapped down, nice and secure. But it's been a cracker of a day. I've had this moisture sort of just oozing out of my skin. I'm not used to it. But it's as hot as your wife on date night, I tell you what. We've had a balmy 29 degrees here for the day. It's sort of cooled off a little bit to about 25 or 26 or something like that now. Apparently we're in for about 31 or 33 or something on Saturday, but that's the weekend. That's fine. We don't want it too hot when we're trying to work. We'll get, there's moisture oozing out of us again. That really shows the outline of the house, especially having the beam across the front there. That in itself sort of finishes the outline of that roof section. Yeah, go and do something else. We'll pick this up in the morning. It's tomorrow. I mean, it's today from yesterday, which was going to be tomorrow. So now tomorrow's today, I think. It'll be yesterday, tomorrow, but it's today. So yesterday we had a good day. We got a couple of panels up. We got 4 panels on the top roof, on what we're calling the pop-up roof. We're making progress. It's going pretty smoothly, actually. Each time when we were fitting panels into the infill joining pieces and the side splines and things like that, with all of the other roofs, even with the walls, it was a battle. Like, we were using what we call bashing blocks just to spread the load over the panel, over the OSB, and big hammers. And we were, well, if you've seen the other videos, we were at it for quite a while sometimes just to try and knock a panel into place and reduce the join, reduce the gaps around the joins. The ones on the roof, for some reason, they're just dropping straight into place with a bit of a shove, and they're home. We've sort of barely had to give anything a tap. So that's been really good. Certainly makes it easier when we don't have to exert ourselves, let's say, in the sun, and makes it just nicely satisfying when it all just drops into place. Charlie's done absolutely nothing yesterday. She's still very festive. Aren't you a very festive dog? Yes? What do those ears do on the side of your head? Not much, do they? Are they just for balance? So Charlie's 14. She's nearly totally deaf now, unfortunately. She used to hear everything. She'd hear a leaf fall 3 blocks away and have to bark at it. But she's a good dog. She's got a lovely temperament. She is a Kelpie cross. Her mum was a full red Kelpie. She was a cattle dog. And the father, they didn't know what the father was. I suspect it was certainly some Kelpie and possibly some German Shepherd. But she's, yeah, lovely dog. Just getting old. Starting to stiffen up in the back legs and whatnot. Aren't we all? Oh, there you go. Right in the eyeballs. So we're in for another nice day. Hopefully we'll get most of the roof finished up the top. There won't be a whole lot of footage of the roof panels. You guys have seen it all before. It's just the same thing in a different spot, but it'd be real nice to get that all finished off. 7:3:15. These guys are going on really nicely, just sliding into place. I'll show you this detail here while Alex is making a noise. So we're sitting on top of a solid piece of timber that's nailed in to the wall panels from each side. So that's not going anywhere. There's another piece of timber that we call a closer that's going into the side of this roof panel here. We've got an LVL, which is 63mm thick, going between all of these roof panels, running lengthways. And that last piece of timber that you saw us put in up there, somewhere here, is a piece of double 45mm thick, 150mm timber. So once we get this closer on here, it's going to go all the way through all of the ends of the roof panels. And once that's in here and all nailed off top and bottom, we can actually get to the bottom, which is nice. We drive 250mm long bugle screws. What's that? 250mm, is that 10 bananas, I think? Very actually, I'm going to try and catch the top of this closer. So we'll drive a screw pretty much just in, it'll catch the timber in the top of the wall, and I'm going to countersink it into the top of this. So you can see this guy's going to be vertical here, but I'm going to try and catch the top of that, and then run through and catch the top of this wall panel. Yeah, that's what holds the roof panels onto the top of the wall, and it's all basically with the timbers that are used to close off the panels. Either splines through the side, joining splines on the short ends of the panels, or the closers on the short ends on the external edges of the roof and the walls and all of that sort of stuff. So I think it's a pretty reasonable system. I'm quite happy with the strength of it all. It's all basically timber to timber, but it's just got panels sort of connecting between the structural pieces of timber. So it's really sturdy to walk on. It's got a little bit of I don't know, vibration, bit of bounce, but it's not wobbly, it's not flexing, it's just tight. So the next piece that we've got to do is an LVL. That's our joining spline along the length of this guy. We're actually using full length LVLs, so they're 9.5 meters long, and that spans from the very top up here all the way through. A couple of screws into these joining splines here, and then that'll eventually get screwed into by the closer on the bottom of the roof panel, and then we'll screw through that LVL into the closer on the top of the wall too. So the whole thing's tied together nicely. Yep, that's it. Give it back. Up, push. Yeah. Woo! Yeah. I'm recording this momentous occasion, aren't I? Yes. Last roof panel, Erica. Are you right there? Are you happy?
Starting to work, yeah, you can keep it a second. Rightio, and to you, and down, and in, and across, and out.
Well, that's a roof then.
That's the roof. The last panel up.
Woo, woo. We could star jump for a thumbnail.
So you're going to go from a cosy lounge space into this great, lovely. We're leaving it as it is. We're not putting any theme in.
Well, We can certainly work towards that, but we need to make sure that we don't have to have any of that structure in place. And we're going to have to overcome other issues like the ventilation and the lighting and electrical and all that sort of stuff.
As far as the build's concerned, from how I feel, I don't think it's affecting the integrity.
No, it shouldn't be. I don't think it would be. I mean, they
Just
didn't.
got, if anything, there's less because there's
There's less weight on the roof.
Yeah, even though there's that big beam through there, there's less in there.
But the thing that they didn't specify any of those big beams.
No.
It hasn't been engineered that structure at all.
No.
It's basically that's ceiling.
So
you
which
make
makes
it
me
how you
think
make ceilings.
We can get away with it.
Yeah.
It's just dressing.
Yeah, essentially.
Well, yeah, those beams are beams that I wanted to put in for those sizes to support the walls going up.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, if you can imagine you're sitting in the kitchen, if you've got the other, you won't see out any of that.
No, you won't.
With that ceiling down.
No, that's
now,
right.
Now you can.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's just such a, I don't know.
And it does exactly what the idea was, is it makes the back of the house, which potentially could have been small and dark,
Yes.
huge and light.
Yeah. I think that. Sorry, I'm just going to explain this to the folks at home, because I like to have this discussion for our record as well. So what we're discussing is we were to have a triangular space in the ceiling. So we're going to have a flat ceiling from over underneath what is essentially the mezzanine. That would be the top of the ceiling all the way through to the front windows, but we would have a gap where these windows are. So there'd be a triangular space going back to this wall over here. So this would be one side, that's the other side, and there'd be another side coming into here. And that would give us our triangular cavity up to the ceiling that we see now, up to the roof. And what we're talking about is removing this whole ceiling structure, which would come to a point in the middle of these windows, and actually leaving it open. Because where the ceiling was going to come to, the box beam is high enough that if you're back far enough, you won't actually see out the window. Whereas if we leave this ceiling out of it and just create the ceiling from the bottom of the box beam through to the windows, and then when we come this side of it, it's just vaulted ceiling, open space. You can see out of this window, out of both of these windows, unobstructed. You won't have a ceiling coming in sort of from here back over to here and just having a triangular space up there. It would have created some nice light play on the walls, but I think it's a shame to fill it in.
Yeah,
like we've got these huge walls here, and we've been looking at them for a while. These big walls that go all the way up here, it'd be sort of monolithic. I mean, what do you think?
Does it come with treats?
I'm sure it comes with treats. So we're sort of discussing this. It's nothing set in motion. Well, it has been set in motion. The ideas have been, but we need to consider all of our options and make sure that nobody's going to be upset as far as engineering or planning or structurally. Everything's still going to be good. We're going to be able to run our services and everything. So that's what we're discussing. I'll let you know what Charlie comes up with, what the final decision is, but at the moment she seems to be in favour, don't you, festive dog? But a momentous occasion, Alex has finished the roof.
Happy about that too.
Yes. We found all of these roof panels lying in piles outside, and we just put them on the roof and they work. That's all of the SIP panels assembled now. It's all finally sort of structurally finished. Structurally, it is actually. That's all of the structure that we've got to do. So the next step is going to be paper, battens, and roofing iron, or tin, or steel, or corrie, or whatever you want to call it. Tin. So that's it. Knocking off cold beverage time. It's been a momentous day. Thanks a lot for joining us. Really appreciate your support, your comments. If we're worthy of a sub, really appreciate that. Thanks very much. Very pleased to get to this point. Can't wait for a roof now. But we've got a few decisions to make as far as this space, like we were talking about before. Tall vaulted ceilings, that's 2.7. It's got to be 4.5 meters up to this point up here. And we're really enjoying the space now that we've got a roof on and we can see the size of things. Yeah, I think we're going to try and keep it if we can. Love to know your thoughts if you've done something similar. If you've got a bulkhead ceiling that does come down in a large space, we've sort of toyed with that idea as well. Thanks again for joining us. I hope you're enjoying the series. Gonna go and kick back for a little bit, put the feet up for a while, maybe jump on the tractor for a bit. But yeah, gonna have a break. And we're gonna kick it off again tomorrow with the roof paper, the battens and the tin. So join us again for the next exciting episode. Cheers guys, see ya. Well, Charlie dog. Come on.